thank you for taking out time sharing your perspective with us on NewsX World. Shifting focus away from the United Kingdom towards what's happening in the Middle East. Israel has now confirmed that the remains returned from Gaza are those of Lieutenant Hadar Goldin, an Israeli officer killed in 2014 during the Israel-Gaza war. Now, Goldin's body was retrieved by Hamas after being held for over a decade. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has hailed the return of his remains, marking a symbolic moment for the nation. For Goldin's father, Simcha Goldin, this return is a significant step towards bringing all hostages home. He's emphasized that true victory would come only when all hostages are safely returned. Listen in to what Goldin's parents have stated.
ומה שהמלחמה האחרונה הזאת הוכיחה זה שאם נלחמים הלוחמים מצליחים, ואם לא מביאים את הלוחמים ומביאים את האזרחים חזרה נכשלים. הניצחון הוא השבת החטופים והשבת הלוחמים לארץ ישראל. זה מה...
With us on the broadcast is Professor Veselin Popovsky. He's a professor and vice dean at Jindal Global Law School. Thank you so much for taking our time and speaking to us on NewsX World. In the midst of Hamas returning the bodies of the hostages, we've now learned that the body of Lieutenant Hadar Goldin, who was killed all the way back in 2014 when the war had taken place between Israel and Gaza back then, that has now been retrieved and handed back as well. How significant a step is this in furthering the obligations of the return of all hostages?
Yes, this is good news, obviously, no matter how long it took. But yes, this is the negotiation technique by Hamas to keep that body as long as possible in order to exchange them for their own prisoners held in Israel. And they did that. Indeed symbolic, because Israel was trying to get that soldier's body for a very long time. It was significant back in 2014. I remember that when he was dragged into the tunnel, they killed 3 soldiers, but one body they took into Gaza, into the tunnels, and Israel used very heavy artillery fire to kind of prevent that to happen. And there was always in the news all this, what now, 11 years. When will that body be returned? Finally, it's happened, so it's a good news. But generally, those negotiations go very well. We see that only 4 remaining dead hostages are still to be returned. Question when it will happen. Hamas is saying that they cannot identify where these are, which probably is also possible, that in such ruins in Gaza, you might not be able even to identify the last dead hostage. But generally that process goes well, I must say. What doesn't go well is everything else in terms of the future of the Gaza, the future of Hamas, who is going to reconstruct those ruins, the presence of Israel, the two-state solution. Big questions remain. But we have, let's say, a small good news, but a lot of question marks for the future.
Absolutely. So requesting you to stay on with us as we're tracking more updates this time regarding the war in Europe. Ukrainian